Hello, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day. I wanted to pop on here quickly and share with you one of two things that's really going on with the hold that sugar has over our lives. And this is really inspired by the workshop that I created and brought to Mountain Spirit Festival this past weekend, where we dove into all things emotion and sugar connection. And there were really two pieces that stand out big time when it comes to our emotional connections to sugar. And I wanted to share one of those two reasons with you today, and I'm going to share the second one with you in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. But the more work that I do with women in this area around sugar and really breaking free from the control that it has over our lives, the more I realize that, as with most addictions, sugar's an addiction, right? If you didn't already know that, it really comes down to our emotional health and what's going on with our emotions and our feelings every day. Because whenever I talk about triggers around sugar, there are lots of them, but every time I talk to women, it seems to come back to the emotional ones that are the biggest, right? So the first thing at play, and the thing that I want to share with you today to start mulling over and really being aware of in your own life, okay? Because I share all of this information with you so that you can take it in, step away from this video, and start processing and start noticing when and where this is showing up in your own life. So that is my goal here for you. I want you to take this information that I'm about to share with you and use it every day. Start letting it spark that thought before you put something in your mouth every day, whether it's sugar or food in general. The best thing that we can do is to stop and ask ourselves what we're actually looking for in any moment before we put something in our mouths, whether it's a drink or food or sugar, is to ask, what do I really want? And yes, a lot of times it's going to be, I'm hungry, my body needs nourishment. But normally it's an emotional thing. So here's what's going on. Part one, number one, with our emotional connection with sugar, it's that since childhood, since we're little children, teeny tots, as I said in my workshop, which I've never said before, since we're teeny tots, we are taught by accident, not on purpose. No one's gone out and said, this is what I'm going to instill in my child. This isn't totally by accident, but this is what's going on. So we're taught right from the first time that we feed from our mother's breast that sugar equals, or sugar, not equals, sugar is connected to every single emotion. So right from that first time that we take our mother's milk, we learned that the sweet taste, that glucose hit, that sugar in our mouth means love. It means connection. It means closeness. And then as we, turn from teeny tots into teeny toddlers and young adults, we continue to build those connections in our subconscious. Sugar is used to handle stress. Sugar is used to handle anger or fear or boredom or celebration or happiness and joy. I could keep listing, but I'm not going to list all the emotions. You know them all. But every single one of our human emotions, and I make the stand, and every time I share this in a workshop or with people, and I'm going to share this with you now, I am 100% very excited and very willing to meet the one person one day who can tell me an emotion that is not connected to sugar. I am willing and ready if someone can show me that. We had a couple good tries in the workshop that I hosted this weekend. Somebody suggesting fear, someone else suggesting gratitude, and I brought that around. How many of us have been in a state of fear and used sugar to soothe, to pick ourselves back up, to make ourselves feel better? All the hands in the workshop went up. The other one, gratitude, right? How do we often show our gratitude? With gifts, right? And what's the easiest gift to give someone? Box of chocolates, homemade cookies, right? We do this all the time. So gratitude can be a huge thing too. I'm feeling so grateful for so-and-so who looked after my dog this weekend while I was away. I'm going to buy them something really nice. I'm going to go buy them, a box of cupcakes, or I don't know, whatever, right? And of course, there are other ways that we can show gratitude, but that is still something that we connect a lot of times with sugar. So every single emotion, and this starts from when we're children, right? We scrape our knee. So pain, when we feel pain physically or emotionally, what do? Go for an ice cream cone, right? From childhood. Oh, little Timmy, you scraped your knee. Like, it's going to be okay. Let's go get some ice cream and it'll all be better. So we start making these connections. And I really challenge you to think back to your childhood. All of our SHIT comes from childhood, doesn't it? Whew. And of course, our parents always doing the best for us. They loved us and they didn't know this. This is new information that we're really starting to learn and absorb over the last, decade. So it's our chance here and your chance right now in this moment to think back to where your emotional triggers are coming from. Number one, identify which ones are most prominent for you. So for me personally, boredom. Boredom is my number one. That was always the one that really was difficult for me. And celebration. Okay, so identify what it is for you. Maybe it's anger makes you reach for sugar. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's a need for connection. Maybe it's love, right? Think of Valentine's Day. Love equals chocolate, which is AKA just sugar. So think about what it is that is for you, because it's different for all of us with our emotional triggers, but identify yours, write them down. And then you can start, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, you can start actually stopping before you put anything in your mouth and just asking that question. You can ask the question in whatever way it really resonates with you, but asking, what am I actually looking for in this moment, right? Or where am I now in this moment emotionally, right? Just check in, and this can take 15 seconds, and just ask yourself that one question. And you're not going to be perfect. You're going to forget to do it a lot. You're going to not get an answer. When you ask, like, where am I now? You're like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what I want. I'm just reaching for the fridge. And that's okay. That's part of the process. But the more you ask, the more you invite that awareness and that clarity into your life. And that is where these deep-rooted connections start to change in our subconscious. And this is the deep work. This is the deep work that I always talk about that takes place on our journey to sugar freedom. It's not just going off sugar for 4 weeks. There's other things at play, and this emotional piece is huge, which is why I wanted to share part 1 with you today. And in the next couple of days, I'm going to come on here and share part 2 with you, because the second piece of this emotion sugar connection, I believe, is even deeper rooted and even more important for us to wake up to and to start paying attention to and to start reshifting and rewiring if you want to really live your best life and break free from this control that sugar has over our lives. So there you have it. Part 1 is that emotions are linked to sugar or sugar cravings ever since we're children. So identify yours, get really clear on that, and start checking in, start asking, and start figuring out where you can make some shifts over time. Okay? Look forward to coming on the next couple of days and sharing part 2 with you. It's going to blow your mind. And please feel free to share this, share the love, share this video. This information is so important. And I would love to hear from you. Okay, I would love to hear below, what are your emotional connections to sugar? What are your emotional triggers? I shared mine. Boredom and celebration are my big ones still. I want to hear yours. Maybe you've got 10, maybe all the emotions, right? And through work, over time, you'll start to detach those. And it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful. I've got mine down only 2. And they're almost gone. So the work is real. But I want to hear those. I want to hear those down below this video. I look forward to it. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Bye.